Yo, what's up? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. I took 2 days off from posting the videos and stuff. Stretching myself way too thin with too many projects all at once and needed a second just to make sure I didn't kill myself too much. But one of the strings broke on my guitar and restrung it, cleaned the fretboard, polished the frets, so it feels great now. We're back and at it. Just wanted to give a couple tips for practicing every day. Super quick video, but just some things that have been really helping me recently. One is, I'm going to say this in every video, and I've already said it like twice on this channel, is when you're practicing anything, keep yourself to a timer. Because it's really easy to kind of get distracted and then lose yourself in the reason why you're sitting down and practicing in the first place. You'll kind of lose track of how long you've been practicing, and just the whole practice session can very easily lose meaning if you're not tracking anything, especially the time that you're practicing. So you have an intention with what you're going to practice with. You set that intention and then set the timer and just do that thing you set out to do for that amount of time. Once it beeps, you're done. Second thing is, if your fingers start to hurt, not just like get tense or things get difficult, if they just get difficult and intense or kind of stiff, just take 5-10 minutes, take a break, and maybe do some more stretching on the fingers and come back and get back at it. But if your fingers actually start to hurt, like you press down and you just go, fuck, ow, like, just stop. Just stop for the day. Don't play anymore. You'll get to a point maybe later in the day, if you practice, let's say, like in the morning or midday, you go the afternoon, and you want to pick it up again, you can start playing a little bit. I still probably wouldn't recommend doing that, just because you have to think long term. You have to think, okay, well, if I start practicing again in the afternoon, my fingers were hurting in the morning. It's probably going to start hurting pretty quickly still now, because I haven't given myself that much time to recover. And then if I try and play now, by the morning, I'm not going to feel much better, and I'm probably going to suffer with the amount of time I can actually practice before my fingers start to hurt again. And that's definitely a big one. Tip number 3 is, depending on what you're practicing, I have a tip for if you're practicing something very technical or something that's very straining on the fingers, like a solo, for example, like what I'm doing now. I recommend that if you have any sort of practice routine, any sort of scale you're trying to learn, anything relating to improvisation or music theory, fretboard memorization, anything that's lighter on the technical side of things and more leaning towards you memorizing things or learning new ways of doing stuff, do that first. And I found that I like to do that first. So for example, right now, I've been learning the shapes of the different modes of a major scale. I run through each mode shape 40 times, and that's that practice session for the day. And I found if I used to try and practice a solo beforehand, and my fingers still weren't really warmed up. I stretched, but they still weren't really warmed up. And then I'd try and play, and I'd fuck up for a long time. And then by the last 15 minutes that I'm actually practicing the solo, I'm starting to get in the feel of it, and it's starting to feel good. And then I'm getting to that point where I'm kind of pushing the boundaries of where I could before. And then, timer goes off, time to stop and go to the next thing. So I totally found what works for me is, if you have something related to memorization or something lighter on the technical side that you want to practice as well, even if it's another song, but it's just a little easier on the fingers, I totally recommend doing that first. And that really warms up your fingers, warms up your mind, because you're not used to practicing yet, so you get into it. A little something easier on the fingers and potentially the mind. And then by that time, that hour, half an hour is done. Then when you go to the technical practice of learning a new solo or whatever, your fingers will be warmed up and you'll be going in at close to 100% of your ability straight on. And then you'll have that whole time that you want to practice that thing to actually being able to practice it with your fingers fully warmed up and ready to go. So just some, tips I was thinking about while I was practicing today. Just stuff to get myself back into making the videos. And I'm glad people are enjoying them. Glad people are finding them helpful. And yeah, I'll come back tomorrow with some more old man wisdom.